We had originally planned to air our first story spotlighting Loretta Lynn's ranch a few weeks ago. Then tragedy struck. Catastrophic rains west of Nashville took a terrible toll in lives lost and homes destroyed. Well, our hearts go out to all those who were impacted by the storms. Recently, we received word from Loretta's ranch saying they've been working tirelessly to reopen, and running the story now would greatly help them get back on their feet. So how could we say no? Laura Faber takes us to the home of the one and only coal miner's daughter.
'Cause you ain't woman enough to take my man.
She is one of the original queens of country music. 24 #1 hits, 11 #1 albums. Loretta Lynn is a music icon. She also owns a town, which has become one of the top tourist attractions in Tennessee.
It's a three-part business, kind of all mashed in together to make one unique giant business here in rural Middle Tennessee. We're a campground, an event center, and a tourist attraction, all based around Loretta Lynn.
Anthony Bruto is the general manager of the Loretta Lynn Ranch, which spans more than 3,000 acres in Humphreys County.
I've always viewed the ranch as this event venue, this unique place that we can do all sorts of different things. We are at the 40th year for the Amateur National Motocross Championship. We are at the 38th year of our horseback week-long trail rides. We're at the 20th year of the MTDR motorcycle off-road rides. The Jeep event that just happened, 1,200 Jeeps and 3,500 people. You know, they come out and they get to enjoy the property like I did, like our family did, and exactly how Meemaw wants it to happen.
Yep, Anthony called Loretta Lynn Meemaw. He is her grandson.
For me, Loretta Lynn, there are two different versions of Loretta Lynn. They're the same, but they're also different. I have Loretta Lynn as a grandmother. She is just like everybody else's grandmother. When I got in trouble, I would get spanked with a wooden spoon, fly swatter, whatever was within arm's reach. But when it comes to Loretta Lynn as a stage performer, she is one of the most awarded ladies in country music. She is, she's won pretty much every award that you can, been nominated for every award that there is. She has everything from Grammys to the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She still to this day is rocking out. She's got 6 decades of music under her belt. She's got 60 studio albums.
The 18,000 square foot museum is full of clues about Loretta's life. Family photos, her many awards, her gorgeous dresses. Some weigh 30 pounds. You can even walk through her tour bus.
All right, so this was the original bus of my grandmother, of Loretta Lynn. They say that there's about 3 million miles on this bus.
Taylor Lynn is also one of Loretta Lynn's grandchildren. An entertainer and ranch ambassador, she tours with Conway Twitty's grandson, performing many of the duo's songs.
I think that one of the most important things for me in my life is to preserve the legacy of Loretta Lynn, of my grandmother. We have the museum here that, you know, she was a hoarder for a really long time, and Tim Cobb, who is her right hand, has done such a beautiful job with putting this museum together and preserving that. You know, she talks about how the whole reason they have the ranch is for the fans, is for the people, is so that her music can live on. And not just her music, but what she's done as a woman, as an entertainer, as, you know, in women's rights, in just a movement as a truth teller. So absolutely, it's one of my most important journeys.
As the story goes, Loretta and her husband Mooney were looking for a place to settle in the country and got lost. They stumbled across the waterfall by an old grist mill, and up on the hill, a beautiful white house. When they bought the 19th century plantation in 1966, almost the entire town of Hurricane Mills came with it. The town's working post office still resides on her ranch.
When people found out that Loretta Lynn lived out here, though, they started coming to see where Loretta Lynn lived, you know, and it started off as people would come and, you know, take pictures, and you could meet Loretta. She was out gardening, she was out doing stuff. I mean, this was her home. So what she decided to do was give people a place to stay. And it started off a very small campground with a very few cabins, and it's kind of just grown. It's grown to be one of the largest campgrounds in Middle Tennessee.
One of the newest additions to the ranch is this mural that spans 40 feet, showcasing Loretta's legacy from the start to present day. Also on the property includes an exact replica of the home that Loretta grew up in Butcher Holler, Kentucky. 10 people lived in this home, and it's exact down to the pages from catalogs and magazines that they used to seal up the walls and ceiling. The property itself is of historic note, with many landmarks from the 1800s. The grist mill is one of 3 buildings on site that sit on the historic register. You could buy everything from baby formula to your coffin here, and it was one of the first hydroelectric plants in Tennessee.
They say that people used to come for miles in horse and buggy to come and see the lights lit up at night. For a short period of time, it powered the town of Waverly.
Loretta has since moved out of the Grand Plantation home into a smaller house still on the property, but it's changed very little from when she did live there.
Now with Mooney's outfit, you see the Wranglers, the work shirt, and the cowboy hat. That's what you'd have seen that man in any given day.
From the avocado green bathroom to the kitchen where her old Crisco commercials were filmed, to her extensive collections.
I'm gonna tell you real quick, y'all, she loved her Avon lady, but not near as much as her Avon lady loved her.
The boots on the floor in her bedroom were actually worn by Mooney when they visited the White House. Loretta Lynn's ranch is a special destination created for all of us, combining the outdoor beauty and history of small-town Tennessee and a snapshot of a superstar's well-lived life.
My job is to preserve the legacy of Loretta Lynn Ranch. It's really a blessing and an honor.
I feel so blessed to be able to be the face of Meemaw's, to be able to step onto her social media, to step on the ranch's social media, to say, hi, I'm the host, welcome to our ranch. Like, that is not something that I take for granted or that I don't thank God for every day, that I get to be out here and stand up and say, God, this is my family's ranch and we welcome you and we love you, and isn't Meemaw awesome?